Hey everyone, welcome back to Bryan's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. Before we get started today, I just wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve and is off to a good start in 2023. Today we are going to be talking about the disappearance of Kathleen Patterson. Kathleen went missing in September of this year, on September 25th. She originally went out for a hike in the Cave Creek area, which she was residing in. This is that small red area that you see here. I know it's kind of tough to really get a gauge on it, but there's numerous systems of trails through there. Today we're going to be talking about the Spur Cross Trail, which is what she was going to be hiking. Despite the fact that she was a very experienced hiker, she had never done this particular trail before. Her and her husband had moved to the area roughly 4 years before. She went out for this hike. She left her house around 7:30 a.m. that morning. Apparently the hike was going well. She sent her husband a text message at roughly 10 a.m. that morning, and it just simply said that she had gotten off course. However, she was doing well. She had plenty of water. So he really didn't think anything of it until he was called less than an hour later. She said that she was heading back to the car. She said that she was moving at a good pace, and that she would text him when she got back to the parking lot. However, hours and hours passed without Kathleen getting in touch with him, so Steve went out to look for her car. When he got to the parking lot at the Spur Cross Trailhead, he noticed that it was still there, her gray Infiniti, and of course this was very concerning for him, so he looked around the area for a little bit and then he called the police. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office was very quick to respond. They immediately contacted a few other nonprofits, the Arizona Foothill 911, as well as the Arizona Search and Rescue called AZARTACH. These people also were able to get hundreds and hundreds of volunteers that once they got approval from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, they joined in the search as well. They set up a base camp near some of the trailhead entrances, and I'm going to have some pictures and maps up. Sheriff's Office was very concerned because earlier this year, in the month of September of 2022, they had already had one man pass away, a doctor, and he was only 32 years old. Kathleen was 60 at the time of her disappearance. The community really rallied and pulled together to help with this search. It was one of the most incredible volunteer efforts I've ever seen. These people had not only the standard, foot searchers, they had people on bicycles, they had people that were out day and night camping, they had helicopters, of course, they had special drone teams, they even had people that were not local come in from out of state just as volunteers to help with this search. This was just a massive, massive effort. The first 2 days, obviously, there was still a good amount of heat in the air, up over 100 degrees. That was obviously concerning, not only for Kathleen, but for the search efforts. So there was people that literally donated hundreds and hundreds of bottles of water. The local motels and hotels set up certain rates for people that were coming in, gave them discounts. Some of these search and rescue of volunteer nonprofit companies paid for their meals. It was just a really, really awesome combined effort by both nonprofits, all the volunteers that they mustered up, and of course the Maricopa County Search and Rescue and the Sheriff's Office. One of the spokesmen for one of the nonprofits actually said this is one of the hardest types of searches just because the terrain is not only so hot and dry, but it's also very vast. You go from rocky, desert type climates to there's also some forested area, but these people, they had people out on horseback, and this is actually the first case that I've covered. They actually had people that were paragliding in the efforts to help with this search, and I'm going to have some pictures up of that as well because I just found that to be unbelievable. Of course, I know drones are usually used and helicopters, but I've never seen any case that had people actually paragliding. Obviously, by this time, the whole Patterson family had arrived from out of state, and of course, her husband, he said that he was just overwhelmed with the generosity and how wonderful the whole community was. By the second day, they still hadn't found any clues. They still had no more information about the whereabouts of where Kathleen could have been. Despite this, all the search and rescue, all the volunteers who were interviewed said, "There is no chance of us stopping. We are going to find her." They were not giving up. They didn't. I mean, they just got more and more volunteers. They had more things donated. However, on the third day, so this is now September 28th, 3 days after she went missing, at roughly, it was hard to say because some of this information hasn't been released. We don't know which search and rescue team found her. We haven't gotten any of the details on the cause of death. However, unfortunately, she was found deceased. There are some bizarre things. So the police is still investigating, although they say that there wasn't foul play suspected. However, they, like I said, didn't release her cause of death, and she was found only 200 yards from a bathroom, from where civilization water was. It's just very odd considering that she was an experienced hiker and she wasn't found out in sort of the middle of nowhere, so to speak. Now, obviously, like I said, they're still investigating. There's still a lot of stuff I don't know, so I can't tell you. All I can say is that obviously this is never the outcome that the families or the search people are wanting. At least they do have some closure, but they are still looking for more answers as what could have happened to Kathleen on this day back in September of 2022. The family was, of course, obviously so overwhelmed with gratefulness and happiness for all the searchers that helped them through this traumatic event. Obviously, they weren't happy with the outcome, but they were just so thankful for all the people that came together as a community. In fact, the community got together and they sponsored this hike, this 5.2-mile hike, which was Kathleen's intended route that day. So they got around 50 volunteers together, and they all went out on October 2nd of 2022 to do this hike to commemorate the loss of Kathleen and to wish her family peace and love in the future. That said, however, because this was the second passing in the month of September alone, it started some talk with the Maricopa Parks and Recreation Department. They said that they're trying to constantly educate people on how to best be prepared for their hikes, especially because the weather can be so hot. They say, of course, always stay on designated trails, tell someone where you're hiking, carry enough water, and turn around when you have at least a liter left. However, in this case, Kathleen was very prepared. She had plenty of water, she had her gear, she had a full battery cell phone, she had maps of the area. The only thing I might say is that it's always good to carry a backup phone or a satellite device like a Garmin InReach, which is something that I always carry. I think they're great. They can be invaluable if you get lost in the field, especially when you're hiking alone. But we still don't know what happened to Kathleen on that day. So I'm definitely not preaching or saying that she did anything wrong. It's a terrible tragedy. And her husband had been married for 37 years. She goes out on a hike one day and she's gone. I just can't imagine the sorrow, what he's going through, what her whole family is going through. Of course, I want to dedicate this video to Kathleen Patterson, her husband Steve, their entire family, of course, all the search and rescue, the volunteer groups, the nonprofits, everyone who got involved to help look for Kathleen and ultimately help bring her home. I'd also like to send my thoughts and prayers out to the doctor who also passed away of heat exhaustion earlier in that month, and to all the park and county workers that are trying to make it a safer area to hike. I know that from my research, it is a very, very well marked trail, and all the different areas have all kinds of information, various maps. I think obviously, like, if they could figure out sort of how they do on through hikes, maybe water drops from trail angels, things like that, that would always be a big help, but I don't know if that's a reality or not. I wanted to wish everybody a safe and happy hiking season in 2023. Please let me know if you have any questions about through hiking or any cases you'd like me to cover. I want to thank you all for watching as always. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the awesome background music as always. You guys should definitely check out his channel. He's a great guy. He lives over in England and just helps a lot of us YouTubers out. So definitely check him out. I wanted to share this with you. This came up in my local news feed. So this guy was going out for a camping trip with his Eagle cap attached to his truck, and it literally split his truck in half. Apparently his insurance is fighting the claim, saying it was too heavy, although he states that it was fine for over 20,000 miles. So he doesn't understand how all of a sudden it could become a problem. He always made sure it was underweight. So who knows, but the bill apparently is almost $20,000, which his insurance is refusing to pay. So I kind of feel bad for him. Hopefully something will work out. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me till the end. I really appreciate it. The silver coins, the giveaway coins that I'm going to be giving away, for those of you that didn't see that video, I bought several coins from the US Mint that have gift cases. They come in a gift box. They're absolutely beautiful. They're 1 ounce of pure silver. They come with a certificate of authenticity. So if you're interested in it, it's just something I wanted to do to start the new year of 2023 and commemorate the year of 2022. All you have to do is leave me a comment saying that you're interested, and I will put you in the running, and then I'm just going to draw 2 names, a male and a female. Once I do, I'll contact you and I'll send you out your giveaway coins. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.